Today, we're talking about something that affects all of us, managing your money in your new home. If you've recently moved to Canada, you might have experienced that moment of sticker shock at the grocery store or when paying for your first month's rent. Don't worry, I've got you covered with some practical tips to help you thrive financially when you move to Canada. I'm Reni, and this series is brought to you by Lemfi. Remember when sending money home felt like navigating a maze, endless fees, slow transfers, and constant stress? Well, you are meeting Lemfi, the app that just gets it. You can send money to Nigeria, Kenya, or any of 10 African countries, and it's now as easy as sending a text. Zero transfer fees, transfers received in minutes, and great exchange rates. So if you aren't hip to Lemfi yet, I encourage you to check it out. You'll get $10 when you send a transfer of $100 or more. So just use my code xoReni and download Lemfi today with the link in my description box and say goodbye to your money transfer headaches. Thank you so much to Lemfi for partnering with me on this series. Now let's get back into the video. So I want to get real about Canadian expenses. You are probably new here if you're watching this and you may not know what to expect. So let me break it down for you. In major cities like Toronto or Vancouver, a one-bedroom apartment may cost you anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500 monthly. And that's even being generous. Weekly groceries for one person on average may cost you between $75 to $100. A monthly transit pass can be between $120 and $150. As you can see, these numbers are a bit high, but with proper budgeting, you can manage them effectively. I would say proper budgeting plus a good income will help you manage them effectively. The most important thing that I think you should know is that it's important to be aware of your money. Canada is one of those countries where most transactions are digital, and you can also rely on debt for most things. I find that a lot of people get into that habit of constantly tapping their credit card, but rarely looking to see what their choices are actually costing them. So again, you're watching this video, and the most important thing that I think you should know is the importance of knowing how much money is coming into your account each month and how much money is going out of your account each month. And to know that, all you need to do is start tracking your spending and creating a budget. So let's create a sample budget together to help. There are a lot of budgeting methods out there. You can watch tons of videos on the different budgeting methods out there, but I'll give you one of the basic ones that is a good guideline for you. This is the 50-30-20 rule. This is a rule that says that 50% of your income should be for your necessities, things like your rent, your utilities, your groceries, your transportation. Then 30% of your income should be for your wants. That's things like entertainment, dining out, and shopping. And then 20% of your income should be for your savings and investing and debt repayment. So let's break that down in actual numbers. What this means is that if you are taking home $4,500 per month, your essentials like your rent, your groceries, your transportation, maybe therapy, medicine, your utilities, those should be no more than $2,250 per month altogether. Your wants, like going out to eat with your friends, like traveling, like gym, shopping, and other expenses, should be no more than $1,350 per month. And your savings and investments, and maybe even black tax and debt repayment, should be no more than $900 a month. I know, again, this seems like a lot. Those are just some guidelines, and this can be doable depending on where you are based, okay? So in Toronto, this may be a bit harder, but in Calgary, it may be easier to fit within those guidelines. The important thing to know is that these numbers are simply guidelines. They are not law. If you are creating your budget, I always encourage people to actually first start with just tracking their expenses before you even create your budget. So you can have a realistic picture of where your money is going now, and this will help you to create a realistic plan. I also would suggest that you automate your non-negotiables each month. So if it is a non-negotiable for you that you save each month, you invest each month, and you send money back home to family each month, automate those transfers. Remember, it's important to choose realistic numbers for everything that you do, not idealistic. When you choose idealistic numbers that you can't actually keep up with, it will make you feel demotivated and actually pretty bad that you're not able to keep up with your budget. So now that you know what a budget is and some guidelines to create it, let's talk about some tools to help you make your budget. There are a lot of different tools out there. I'll just mention a few. The first one would be banking apps. So in Canada, banks like RBC, TD, Scotiabank, etc., they all have built-in budgeting features. For example, TD has an app called TD MySpend, and it connects directly to your TD account. The only issue that I find with these apps is that they can only track what you spend in that account. But if you have multiple different accounts, it's not really the most helpful. Next, there is one called Buddy. This is a free app that is Canadian and it's perfect for beginners. If you want something that's more detailed and has a subscription fee, you can look at YNAB, which is You Need a Budget. We also have Budget, Every Dollar, Monarch Money. Those are a few different ones, but they all have like a freemium model where it's free for some time, but if you want to upgrade, it's paid. The last option that you can look into is just a simple spreadsheet. This is what I personally use, and a simple spreadsheet where you can start one on Google Sheets or Excel and just track your spending that way. There are lots of different templates out there, and I'll leave a few in my description box that you can just click on the link so you can download one of them. Personally, I love to use a spreadsheet on Excel, but you should choose the method that makes most sense to you. The best budgeting method is the one that you will stick to, not the one that experts say is the best. It's the one that you will actually stick to. So now that you know how to budget, let's talk about how to save money in Canada. So as a newcomer, you are faced with a lot of expenses right away. So here are some suggestions that can help you get your dollars to stretch a bit further. The first thing I'll say is that groceries are very expensive in Canada. So you can use price comparison apps like Flip for your groceries to make sure that you're getting the best deal possible. It will say that at No Frills, apples are this price, whereas at Freshco, apples are this price. Whichever one is lower, you will be able to use that app to compare and then do price matching at the grocery store. The second thing you can do is to take advantage of newcomer banking packages. So as a newcomer, there are lots of different opportunities for you to save money, and oftentimes they'll give you free banking for a year or two. So definitely take advantage of that. That's a good way to save money in your first few years in the country. The next one is if you're looking to furnish your place, you don't need to go and buy brand new furniture because furniture is very expensive. On Facebook Marketplace, there are usually a lot of great quality secondhand pieces of furniture that you can find. Another thing you can do is get a library card. So a library card has access to a lot of free entertainment and also just free tools to help you better yourself. So I know that I personally have Libby. There's also LinkedIn Learning that you get when you have a library card. So instead of paying for a lot of subscriptions, see if your library can give you access to them for free. Another thing you can do is sign up for loyalty programs like PC Optimum. So as you are spending money, at least you're getting some points which you can then redeem for free groceries later on. Again, this may seem like a lot. There's a lot to know when you come to the country, but remember, it's not about depriving yourself of anything, but more so finding smart ways to use your money. So as you start to make money, your budget in certain areas can increase. But at the beginning, make sure you don't feel the pressure to feel like you have to have everything figured out. Lastly, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I really want to emphasize that essential item that I want you to have in your budget is an emergency fund. Canada is one of those countries where even if life happens to you and times are tough, life will still go on. Let me explain what I mean by that. So in Nigeria, where I'm from, for example, if you were to lose your job and you need a few months to get back on your feet, you know that your rent is paid for the year, your car, you probably own it outright, you own things in Nigeria. And even outside of that, you probably have a community to rely on. In Canada, on the other hand, if you lose your job, your car payment will still be due. Your landlord will still come knocking on the first of the month. Your credit card payments won't stop. So it's really important that if you don't listen to anything else that I say in this video, you should start building your emergency fund. Your emergency fund should be part of your budget. So just aim to save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. To do this, you can open a high interest savings account. And even if it's just $50 per paycheck that you can afford to put in there, start with that for now. Set up auto transfers and ensure that this is one of your non-negotiables in your budget. I have a collective called Don't Go Broke Collective where I teach people step by step how to make their money work for them in Canada. And we also have people from around the world. So you can also join that collective. We have live sessions twice a month. We will help you get your money right. We talk about a different topic every month, and we will teach you from investing to budgeting to saving to real estate, all the different topics that you can possibly face in this country. So you can use the link in my description box to join, and I think it will be something that's really beneficial for you. Remember that every single person's financial journey is different. Start with these basics and then adjust them to fit your situation. The key really is to start now. Even if you can only afford to do a little, start now, because even small steps do make a difference. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to check out Lemfi for sending money back home at great rates. And if you found this video to be helpful, hit the like button and hit subscribe. And also share this with somebody who's new to the country who could benefit from this information. Next week, we're going to be talking all about what credit is and what the importance of credit is in Canada. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.